Hey, hi, welcome back everybody to another Catharsis Healing Talk. And today we're going to talk about mentorship and what's being offered here. And my name is Helmut, and we are here with our beautiful friends again, Laura and Laura. Hi, guys. And of course, Cordell, Whitaker. And she told me I need to mention her books more, so she's she is the author of The Reluctant Shaman and Sacred Link, and you can find those definitely on Amazon. So, and like I said, today we're going to talk about mentorship because we are opening this. Catharsis Mentorship is a program that we do a live session every month, and this month's session we open up to the public, to everyone. So if you want to join that, you can go to catharsis.world/live. And to get us started, I am going to read something that I wrote and sent out today, and hopefully find it real quick. Here it is. Our talk today is about what our mentorship offers to people's lives. For me, not being able to be part of the Catharsis Mentorship is akin to trying to put a 2,000-piece puzzle together without knowing what it will look like. Only this is the puzzle of your life, and some people's life have like 2 million pieces or more. A large part of waking up is learning to fully grasp the beauty of life and live in celebration of it. If you're longing for healing and a peaceful, balanced life, having people like Kay to guide you is like having a blueprint of sorts to guide you towards what's really possible when creating health and creating peace and beauty in your life. She offers a remarkable deep understanding of the ancient teachings that students can then apply to put the puzzle pieces of their life together. This is what is being offered with the Catharsis Mentorship, and that's what we will be talking about. There we are. Is Kay going to get us started?
Mentorship is definitely one of my most favorite classes. I don't even really consider it a class. It's kind of like Q&A, and it goes as long as people want. I'll just keep answering. We take little breaks when we have to, but we talk about the teachings, problems that maybe they've come across, or wondering about different teachings that have been taught already. And everybody's in there together from every level. And so they get to hear it all. And I don't hold anything back. And in this group, there's no judgment. That's part of the teachings, the learning not to judge yourself or anybody else or anything they're saying or doing, or just no judgment. And in this atmosphere, when somebody's talking, there's no interrupting. And everybody has a chance to say everything that they want to say, need to ask about. Sometimes the students want to describe their experiences, some very, very cool ceremony or meditation or a journey that they did, or just a life experience that seems to prove out one of the teachings. And it's very enriching. Everybody learns. Everybody gets their questions answered, and it's all about feeling better, learning to to really, really understand these teachings. There's so many layers to the ancient teachings. The way they taught is just amazing. What they taught is even more amazing. And every time you go back to it, you hear it again. You hear another way of talking about it. Sometimes I answer the same kind of question a little bit differently, add a little something in there. And you keep learning more and keep learning more. And as you're doing this and doing the practices, the ceremonies, the teachings just automatically grow all by themselves. You hear the first thing that you ever heard in the first class all over again, or something from the books, and all of a sudden you understand another level. It's a whole new thing that you're hearing or reading. It's it's just like a brand new teaching that just gets put out there, and you feel it in your whole body, and the life energies, the excitement of it, of it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I love to see the students when this happens and they get that aha, and they're like we were saying earlier, their faces light up, their eyes light up, their whole body is lighting up, and you could feel it. You feel it. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, if you don't mind me starting, I still believe that mentorship was put out there for me. It was all about me and about, yeah, exactly. I remember it started right after my first level 1 and training, and there was going to be this time period between courses, and I was losing my shit because I was so used to that, the Q&A about all of these studies, because you're really given, the studies, these tools, you need to apply them to life. And every time you apply them, something happens. And the mentoring, the coaching, the like, keep going, you're doing good, you're not crazy. And listening to your peers, the others in the group, has been, it was like having others, having the community, too, around it at times. It saved my bacon. It was, everything. The mentorship was everything about my success, and my continuance in getting better and better, deeper and deeper in these studies. And so, yeah, it was designed for me. I don't care what anybody else says. I needed it and it appeared, and I've been in it for 8-9 years now. And so it's like it's everything. It's my favorite time of month. It just really is. I'll let Laura share her experience with it, but it's everything.
Well, I like to look back at how I was before. Like I remember my first mentorship. I was so scared, so unsure of myself. I wasn't worthy to be there. All these masks came up, and I feel so completely different. It's really a learning process. But I think of the mentorship as almost like, Thanksgiving, when everybody's in the house and you're just sitting around the table and you could talk about anything. And it just seems like all the right stuff comes up, and I might have a list of things that I want to talk about, and eventually they all get hit. And then it might be my question, but it might be 3 other people's questions, that it just kind of all comes together and ties together. And I'm always so amazed. I'm like, my mouth kind of drops open. And there have been many times I'm like, I wanted to just write, but I just want to be in the moment and just enjoy it. And then I'll go back and I'll actually transcribe sections of it, because it's just so profound. And you can talk about anything from your masks to health stuff. I mean, you never know what's going to come up, but it all comes together because it's the whole of who we are. And it just feels like a family. And yeah, when I look about how I started and how I felt about talking and communicating and being, I'm just so different than I was when I first started. And I thought I was pretty good at that point. I had read so many books, including yours, but it's that part where things really start clicking, and you're learning from everybody else's experiences too. And then you can tie your experience into their experience, and you just start waking up just a little bit here and there, and then all of a sudden, then all there is love. It's kind of fun. It's fun, and I just love everybody in the mentorship. They really are a part of our family. That community, you can't put a price on that. Seriously, because you can talk about anything, and I'll even text people now because that's how close we are. And yeah, it just has something for everybody, and you can cover just about anything. And I have never met somebody with such a wealth of knowledge than you, Kay. You're truly an elder that's just, and you continue. That really is what is the test, is you're a master because you just continue to learn and continue to grow, and you just share it so willingly. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. You were so supported in this group. I've had 2 of our, or more than 2, but I can really remember 2 people have reached out to me after mentorship their first time and said, wow, she's so available. Like other people doing, I can't even say similar work because it's not similar, but other, they're not similar, but other teachers of practices out there, there's like a hierarchy and layers of people. You have the opportunity to speak to, but not the author and the elder. In this case, you make yourself very available. You're the one answering the questions, because truly we don't know what we're talking about. We're learning, and you can kind of mentor a little bit here and there, but the opportunity of the mentorship, it surprises people that, oh, she's right there. I've had that more than once. They're like, she's right there and she's answering my questions. And I know that's probably what rattled Laura when she first came in. We have people like me who like, she's there, yay, I'm going to ask her a question. I'm busting my way to the front of the line. And then you have people like the other Laura who's like, oh, I'm going to be quiet. and that, Kay, you have a way of like making everybody feel comfortable and everybody's seen. And you spend time to make sure you're not just trying to get through this time that you promised somebody. I feel that a lot with other people, like mentorship's an hour. We're going to spend an hour, that's what you paid for. We spend half a day.
Or more.
Or more.
It has gone. We have had it where it went 5-6 hours more, even. Yeah.
That's because you're in it to win it with us. You really answer. I mean, you make sure, and you'll see that every month, you make sure people feel like they've got information. It might be more information than they can handle at the moment. that happens often for me. It was like, I need to stop asking questions and take this in. But now you give us your all. And I'm forever, just grateful for that. Not to be hanging out there with what the hell kind of like, am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? What am I doing?
I want to add in there too that Kay is always available to ask questions with, but she also, in her teaching, she teaches us to get those answers ourselves. And oftentimes I'll have questions and I'll get the answers. I'll use the pendulum or I'll ask spirit or whatever, and I have the answers right there. And Kay's answers are always the same. But it took a while to realize, okay, I can get these answers on my own too. I mean, it's fun to ask. And sometimes I feel like I have to ask a question because other people need that answer as well. But Kay teaches us to get the answers too. It's just not, she's not the one holding all the answers. She teaches us how to get it ourselves.
That's an apprenticeship, right?
Yeah, that's the apprenticeship.
That's what's one of the main parts of the whole ancient teachings. And this is pre-Columbian and this is pre-flood Egypt. They're both the same. And they want to teach self-sufficiency. The idea is that in the very beginning, you might feel very dependent on your teacher to send you in the right direction and give you the right kind of instructions and all that kind of stuff. But in these teachings, this way of thinking is that this knowledge belongs to everybody. Everybody who's interested, who wants it, whatever amount they want, whatever level. And it's up to us to see that people become self-sufficient at all the teachings. Whatever levels that they have gone through, that they get it. They really get it. And hopefully through the years, they'll keep unraveling more and more layers of what they learned, because it never stops. Even after you die, you still understand more levels of the teachings. And that starts at day one. And my job as a teacher is to guide people, is to lead people. A lot of people think teachers are supposed to take some kind of knowledge and shove it in your mind, and then you got it, and that's all there is. And that's not the way the ancients thought about knowledge. And it's that has to do with becoming able in your own self, in your own beliefs about yourself, that these things the teachings are part of you, and they're for you, and they're for the whole world. Then my teachers, the Hetakas, used to say that this is the time we have to bring the teachings back. It's the end of the old world, and it's time for the teachings that have been so hidden. And boy, I mean, all over the world, so very, very hidden. It's time for them to come out, to be known again, to be shared again, so that they encompass the whole world, that everybody knows these truths of existence, of who and what we are, and what the universe really is. So that's I am technically the elder of the tradition in the modern Western world. And I take that very seriously. Even though I might laugh about it, it's my whole life. It's my whole life. And I love it. It's delicious. It's people call these teachings ecstatic, that they teach you levels of bliss, which they do, but it's so much more, because bliss isn't the only thing that's in existence in our universe or for us to experience. So much more that's part of this. And I want to give that to everybody. It belongs to them.
Laura's comments are, wee. Mine are, oh. Everything's always just so exciting. You know, I never realized that this was going to be part of the journey, that it was going to be so much fun. I mean, seriously, just learning new stuff all the time, and just connecting to everything, and the community, the family that we have with the Katasi is so rich is the best way I can put it. And delightful and delicious. And Mhm.
Well said.
It's full of passion. The world is full of passion, and we learn how to experience that again, and to have it within ourselves in our whole life, and to learn how to reclaim that feeling of passion for your own aliveness. And it comes automatically when you start to learn about who you are. That's one of our bottom lines, is who are you and what are you? Because most people don't have a clue. We've never been taught that. Most religions, they don't teach that to the masses. If they still have the knowledge hidden somewhere, it's in their upper echelon, and it's secret, very secret. And it was important for millennia to keep it secret, but it isn't anymore. And I just love seeing it in everybody. They start learning about who they really are and how extraordinary they are, and beautiful, and how much beauty's in the world or all around us. I hear so many people, and my goodness, if you go on in the internet or the news or something like that, they concentrate on how horrible everything is. There's this awful thing and that awful thing, and this other awful thing happened today, and that's all. Everything is so bad and so awful, and everybody's so mean, and there's this war and that war, and even with all of that destruction, that collapsing, and that end of the world that we're living in, there's still so much beauty in the life that we have, in our personal life, in the life that surrounds us everywhere. Even if you're living in the middle of Detroit, in the city, or New York City, Harlem, you're in the slum or something, there's still amazing amount of beauty. The aliveness, everybody, everything, every little bug traveling around in the air is alive. And it's miraculous in its construction and its beingness and what it does. And you can see that, you could feel that. You get to feeling it more and more and more and deeper, and understanding what life actually is, what aliveness is, and that there is aliveness all around you. It's in the air. It is the air. It is the water. It's the sky. It's the land. It's even in the cement under your feet or the blacktop. It's even in the garbage pit. Life. Real life. We have so much of it here. The more we learn, the more we feel it. And that's the key to learning, is the feeling of it. We feel it out in the whole universe. Everything's alive, every atom, every planet, every asteroid, every sun, the galaxy, the nebula. It's all alive and unique and individual and conscious. And it's connected. We hear a lot about the connectedness. Everything is so very, very, very connected. And we learn that by feeling it, experiencing it. And we learn the levels of connectedness. There are many, many, many levels of connectedness. And we learn it by experiencing it. And that's what the ceremonies are about. That's what they do. That's what they're there for. That's why the ancients went to so much trouble to preserve these teachings, so people can learn to experience it themselves. We don't have to be overwhelmed with the craziness of the end of the world. The ancients knew that at the end of the world, people are going to go crazy. Not everybody, but some people, which we see out there. They're doing weird things and they're doing crazy things, and sometimes they're doing mean and terrible things. The ancients knew that. They'd already been through it before. Many times, they say. We've had many worlds. They lived their time and then they ended, and a new world started. And at the end of every world, it went crazy. That's where we're at. We're at the end of our world, and we're seeing the collapse. They call our old world an upside down and backwards turning wheel world. And that's a pretty good description. You see, everything looks upside down. They're doing crazy things. They're doing everything backwards. It's chaos out there in some places. And in the teachings, they prepare us for that happening. And that those who can stay out of the chaos and learn to wake up and learn to find out who they are the bridge builders. They are the ones who build the bridge and build the beginnings of the new world. And our new world will be based on a positive turning energy. And that has to come from us. We have to design it. We're the ones who get to decide, what do we want in our new world? And that's part of the teachings. There's a whole ceremony and like a whole faction of the teachings called the weavings. And it's very ancient. And it happened at the end of the last world and the end of the world before that and before that. And it's all about weaving a brand new world, learning how to do that, how to heal the world, how to create a whole new world by weaving a new world. Healing. Excuse me, healing. So what can you say about that?
We have too much fun in this group.
I got my questions all ready for Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. I have so much fun in the mentorship. I love them.
I'm always, I mean, truly, it's the questions, you know, and that letting the ikta go. I know that already. I took that class. I know it all. Letting that go. I found one of my joys is almost now hearing a question repeated, you know, with some student who didn't hear it, or, you know, participant who hadn't heard it before. They asked the same question, and wow, you know, how, you know, again, 8-9 years I've been hearing you answer this question. And it's always amazing what I hear this time, and, you know, and how that evolves into it. And so I think there's another aspect. There are questions that come that I haven't heard before. I would never thought of asking. And somebody else asks that, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I want to hear the answer to this thing. You know, how is Kay going to answer this question? I mean, I mean, not that the new questions. I mean, this isn't Stump Kay. I mean, by no means. And but I love, one of the other most fun, I mean, Kay, your desire to give us accurate, truthful information, you don't come at it ever like, I gotta have an answer. Ironically, you always do, but you don't feel like you're scrapping somebody else's stuff together to give us an answer. I mean, every time you've ever spoken and answered anything, you know, the truth and the information is there. You know, it was just like, you're not trying to impress us. I know it sounds silly. I just laugh about it, because once you know, that's just not the Katasi thing. You know, you don't have any arrogance. I mean, you keep us in line in the most unconditional love, beautiful way. Don't get me wrong. You're our elder. But there's, I don't know, you leave these mentorships feeling like you've got it. You know, you came into this period of time leaving with more than you thought you were coming for, every time, over and over again. You know, missing it live, it's also recorded, you know, so it's like, even if I can't, I try to make everything live. It's so good live. Because you're also doing that thing where you're just emitting unconditional love to all of us. And I could suck that up. You know, we're all stepping in the K love bubble for that period of time. There's a little Helmut in there too. The K love bubble is worth the price of admission alone, but but even catching it later, you know, I mean, just all of us you know, you're not around, and we're like texting each other, like, did you catch that? Well, you know, afterwards, that was mind blowing. What are you going to do with that? Are you doing that? Or what? You know, we have the conversations for many of us who are in it. And, just because they're so juicy, you know, and it often happens that when I miss it, you know, it's like, crap, that was a good one. Well, they're always good ones. Why am I saying that? But they're recorded, you know, and that library of these mentorships are priceless. It's a good, I can't say, it's like a good, wrong word. I'm just grateful you make the time to do all of this too. A lot of teachers out there don't, and it really, the more that apprenticeship healing talk that we had, it was just like, there it is, the difference. This is an apprenticeship, and what true apprenticeship means. It's not like, there's your forge and there's your iron, go to. You're like, hey, try it, come back and ask your questions, go try it again and come back and ask your questions. And you really, for those stepping into the mentorship program, get that. You just keep tweaking and adjusting our learning to suit us in it. Okay, I'm trying not to, I'm not losing. I didn't bring a Kleenex box in here. I can't get teary. And definitely not snotty. So I'm done.
Too late.
Too late. I'm gonna mute myself so I can snort.
One of the things I love the most about the mentorship is that somebody will ask a question and then it'll just kind of go from there, and someone else will ask a question and somehow it ties into that. And then oftentimes in the next question, it'll all tie in. It's like, it's really like sitting around the kitchen table, just talking like, oh, and some people already have questions, like I said, they're all ready to go with their questions, but it all kind of just always ties in with everybody else's. I'm just always so impressed with it, but that anything could be brought up. I mean, we could be talking about anything. And it all goes to the same stuff. The awakening, the experiencing, the knowing of your song. It's all fun stuff.
Yeah, the best humans on this planet are in this group. Just saying.
Yeah,
that was a judgment. Sorry.
That was.
I was waiting. See, I was getting the elder there in a minute.
Not that we have a better than or less than.
No, but I think those that I can have those people I prefer being around. And
your favorites.
My favorites. Yeah, we keep making more favorites.
Oh.
What you got, Helmut?
I don't know what to add. I mean, the ranges you covered. One thing that I've been thinking about is that, there's case attention to accuracy and precision, so you don't get just some mushy spiritual stuff that you don't know what to do with, but accuracy and precision, and then the unconditional love and the non-judgment is always there. It's like, I have had many years of experience of that. But in addition to that, it's not just the knowledge that is spoken, it is the frequency of the knowledge that is imbued to the students. That has as much value, I think, to me anyway, as the words that get into your brain, because you experience the reality of the words and the frequency, and that makes it much more easier to integrate and begin to live and translate into your life. But what you guys shared is just so amazing, so beautiful, all three of you. And I was thinking, today is International Women's Day, and I have always kind of my mixed feelings about those kind of celebrations. But being here with you guys, three amazing ladies, reclaiming their power and standing it and wanting more of it, it's like, what more do you want as a guy? It's like, and as Ilarian said, a guy's job is to protect the sacred space of women so they can do their work. So yeah, go at it. And thank you so much.
When I was with my teachers and they're asking me to teach that it's now time for them to leave, that I've learned everything they could teach me. And they asked me if I would teach, if I would write, and write about them and write about the teachings. And I was used to being with Native American Indians from North America, where if the medicine man asks you, where the medicine woman is asking you a favor, asking you to do something, you don't say no. You never say no to an elder like that. And so I'm thinking, I don't know how to do that. And then, of course, out of my mouth is coming, yes, I will. I will try my best. I will do this. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I said? What? Oh boy. One of the things that they taught me was that if I cannot feel it, don't speak about it. Don't teach it. If I cannot feel it, I have to be able to go into, literally, spiritually and mentally. Your mental mind is a tool. You can take it with you. I literally have to go into what I'm going to speak about, and I have to feel it. I have to totally experience it and then describe it. Describe what I'm experiencing. And way back when I was still learning, so they definitely had told me this a number of times, because I always asked them, well, how can you do all this? How can you remember all that? How can you go into such detail and depth and feeling? And I get so much feeling from it. I mean, I get overwhelmed, saturated with the energies of whatever you're doing or talking about. And I couldn't understand it. And they're telling me that that's what I need to do to teach others. That the teacher is leading, you're guiding and leading the others to where they can learn for themselves. And this is how you do that. So it's a fun thing for me, as well as, I hope, for all the students. Sometimes some of them look pretty surprised with the answer, or they're very surprised, amazed at how long I spent on the answer, what kind of depths I went into the answer, and where that led to. And that's a joy to me. And I see the joy on their face as they're learning about what beauty is, and what life is, and what joy and happiness is. And that's what we are. That's what we are. That's our base. The universe's base that it was made out of is love. And variations of love, the joy and the happiness and the passions and all the rest. It's all there. And it's our heritage. It's what we are. It's not just something that we're capable of doing or thinking. It's an experience. Experiencing who you actually are and what the universe is, how connected we are, and the coherence of it all. that beauty, the incredible beauty of everything in existence, including ourselves. We experience it. We learn it from our experience. All of that has levels of experiencing, understanding from that experience. Teachers called that knowingness, gathering the knowingness into yourself. And sometimes we do some really fun things when we're learning about ourselves, who and what we really are. We come across our ancientness and our vastness of who and what we really are, what our spirit really is and always has been. And we start to remember past lives, past experiences. And that is so rich, because there's things about these past experiences that inevitably tie into what you're experiencing today in this lifetime. And they all kind of weave together, tie together different themes that we have often delved into. And we talk about all those things, and we feel them. We radiate them. We feel them. Once you've experienced it once for yourself, you can radiate it out. It just, even if you're not intending to radiate it out, it's part of you, and it radiates out to everybody around you, and it begins to soften and change the people around you. The more you know about yourself and learn to love and not judge, learn that everything is love, even that the person that might be yelling at you at the moment, you're radiating out what you've learned, what you've experienced. And I get to see that with every one of these classes, with all these students who are learning and just being. Their beingness radiates out this excitement and love and what they've accomplished in that learning process. So exquisitely beautiful. So exciting. It's a new world. It's really, 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 really a new world. We're building a new world.
Oops.
We lost Alora. Hopefully temporarily.
Yeah.
So what you guys got to say?
I'm enjoying the fun.
That's right. We have a mentorship on Saturday. And
Is that March 11th?
yes,
Okay.
it's March 11.
Okay.
I got to turn the notification off. Laura's computer died, so she says she is sorry that she
Oh.
dropped off. Give me a second here. All right. Yeah, March 11th, Saturday, this coming Saturday, and that is open to the public. If you are not on our mailing lists yet, go to katase.world mentorship.com/live and sign up. And then you get the details to join us on Saturday. And it's going to be kind of like what you just watched,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yes.
So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. And the other Laura
Oh yeah,
and Helmut
and
and
thank you.
everybody listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we see you next time. Love you.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.